I got another thing here from Tiffany about the meeting that we had.
Tiffany?
Yeah. This request was for the photos Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt stated he had received regarding Nitro firefighter Casey Madison at his home while on duty. So that there is no misunderstanding of which photos I was referring, I advise the photos that have been discussed between yourself, Chief Hedrick, and Mark Jarrett. So somebody's been discussing a personnel matter with Tiffany.
Not me. I'll tell you that.
It doesn't matter.
No,
because I don't
see Tiffany.
I'm gonna get. It doesn't matter to me if she wants to see the photo. She can see the photo. It's not Casey at his home. It's Casey out at Jack's house, or not even Casey. It's a picture of the truck
right
out there. So we interviewed. Of course, that date was August 22nd. The picture was taken at a specific time, 1 o'clock or something like that, 1:15 or 1:13 or something like that. It has it on the date on the picture. So we interviewed everybody that's worked with Casey, and nobody can recall any of this.
No. Everybody I talked to said they have had no problems with Casey. I said, has he been gone? You didn't know where he was at? No. This was the captain's. And I asked Nate Arthur, I said, has anybody talked to you about Casey being gone and didn't know where he was at? He's like, no. The only person I didn't talk to was Childers, because obviously he quit.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if Childers was working that day.
Yeah, there was 4 of them working.
Yes, he was there according to the pay sheet on the 22nd.
Of course, you didn't interview me, because I told you I saw it.
Well, I mean, we had our conversations, and I mentioned in there that I talked to you, and you told me you saw it, but were you there 30 minutes or 20 minutes?
No.
So then you can't attest that the truck was there for that period of time.
What I told you, what can attest to is that it was there at 1:15. I can't attest, but another person can attest it was there an hour later. And then I can attest it was at least there another half hour later. Now, he might have left and went back and left and went back.
I mean, because if 1 o'clock... Now,
the problem, though, that's not the problem. The problem is nobody even remembers it happening. Somebody's lying. And I'll tell you where we got... And I know where some people are lying at, because they've told other people other things.
Well, you know, I'm all for getting all parties in one room, sitting down together and hash this out.
I mean, because right now we're just kind of shooting in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I told you it was August 22nd.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we went back and checked the log and stuff. But the problem we're gonna have, say if you do try to charge somebody with something.
I'm not trying to charge you.
I know that, but I'm saying if you put something in their file, that's the same as charging someone. They still have the same procedures to follow as if you're firing someone.
Mm-hmm.
They still have the same procedures, and so they still have the same rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the problem is going to be, I'm just say it was something petty, okay, which is kind of petty. You know what I'm saying? But say if it was I'm trying to think here. I just lost my train of thought.
Coming in late.
Get off.
No, get used to it.
I had it.
Get used to it.
I'll think it here in a minute.
Well, okay.
But say if we had to go to a civil service or hearing of the peers, okay, and then
just because we're going to put a note that somebody left the fire station,
you'll have to do the same thing. You put something in their file. Period. They have the same procedure to follow, but someone's file as they do if you're terminated.
What happens if they lie?
Well,
how do you prove somebody's lying?
Well, because I got picture.
Well, I don't mean
and they can't even remember it happening. Now, Mark, let me tell you something.
Well, if you want to talk about lying, let's talk about Andrew Shin. He said he wasn't even late for work. I had 4 eyewitnesses that said he was late. He said he wasn't. He lied.
Yes. Well, if he did.
He still got his job, though, doesn't he?
If he did. That's right.
I'm not for lying.
I'm not either. But we got...
So being I'm just going to say, being on a Wednesday, I think that was a Wednesday, is that correct?
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. At 1 o'clock, I don't know if anyone would be at their house for 4 hours. I don't care if it was Casey, if it was Chad, if it was me or Mark. You can name every one of them. I don't think any of them would be at anyone's residence for 4 hours on a Wednesday.
I mean, it'd been easier for me to believe if it had been on the weekend.
It'd been a Saturday or Sunday.
I don't know.
But Casey says he didn't do it.
Huh?
Casey says he did not do it.
What Casey says is this, and I'm very careful. He don't remember being there for as long as 3 to 4 hours. That's what he says. He doesn't say he doesn't remember not being there. He says he does not remember being there for an extended period of time. That's what you have on here.
Correct. I mean, because that's what we're talking, 3 to 4 hours. That was the time frame.
And the thing of it is, there was 4 of them working, so there have been 2 of them together. There have been 2 of them on the rescue truck, and there have been 2 of them on the engine.
Yeah.
So he'd been with. So
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's interview the person that took the picture. Then the person that went back an hour later and saw it again. Then
am I going to
do what you said?
But why are we going to take the word of people out here that we don't know over our own men? If I talk
a picture,
I don't mean nothing.
like I said in there, the picture don't mean anything to me. But if I've talked to all my guys over
what
here,
about a video? Would that mean anything?
If I had a 3 or 4 hour video.
Yes.
All right, we got a video.
So, no, I'm talking about.
We got a video of it.
A 3 or 4 hour video, continuous.
30 minutes of video
I
nonstop.
got a video of the vehicle there an hour after the picture was taken.
Well, that doesn't mean that it was there that whole time. That's
where the problem's going to lie, Dave. If you happen to go to
Lord have mercy.
If you had to go to a civil service hearing or go to court.
All right, hear what you're telling me then. He wasn't there by himself.
He couldn't have been. If there was 4 of them working.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Well, majority of the time they're with their partner.
This particular instance, they weren't.
Okay, there should have been 3 of them stationed.
But how do you know that for a fact? How do you know that he was by himself?
Because none of the guys over there said they were with him. Because nobody else remembers it. From your interviews here, nobody else remembers being there. Because one of them said, yeah, I was there with him for 10 minutes. Yeah, we was there for 10 minutes and left. Came back an hour later and stayed there 10 minutes and left again. Then went back another half hour later, stayed 10 minutes and left. Now, nobody said that.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Childers could have been with him. Like I said, I haven't talked to him because...
Childers wasn't with him. I know as an absolute fact he wasn't with him.
Are you doing your own investigation?
No, sir.
Well, someone is. I mean...
No, sir.
Well, how would you know that?
Because Mr. Childers walked right in this room and told me. And I didn't solicit it. I didn't ask him about it. I never even talked to the guy before in my life.
So what, can you tell me what he said when
he came in here and said that Casey was gone for 3.5 hours. And I said, do you know what date it was? And he said, I will get that date for you.
Was this before he quit or after?
This was after he quit.
Well, I've got a text from him to Casey where he says, I can't remember any time you've been gone that long except when you went to your house for that gas leak.
I'm just telling you, he walked in here and stood right there and said, I'm telling you right now, he was gone for 3.5 hours.
Well, again, after Casey wrote him up the night he quit, so maybe he was venting at Casey because Casey wrote him up.
Might very well be, but it's another person saying it of what you have a picture and a video of, and me seeing.
But the people he's working with had.
But still, I mean, he's the lowest man on the totem pole. There was a captain there. If the captain's not going to fess up to it, why would the captain not fess up to it if it happened?
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, because that's the whole nitty gritty of it all. If we have captains allowing that to happen, and they're not going to say a word about it, then you can allow you to do it. And he would, if he doesn't say a word about it, you can leave for 5 hours and come back. And if he doesn't say, he can say, I don't remember it.
So you know who the captain is, correct?
Yeah. It was Alderman.
No, was not.
Alderman was vacation. Or Kelly, wasn't it?
Yes, it was AJ Shin
On the 22nd?
on the 22nd. Got the payroll records.
Well, now that might be true. I'll tell you why that might be true. Because the comment I heard did not say Alderman. This said the captain said it was mad because he couldn't find him.
But I talked to AJ one-on-one, face-to-face, a week ago. AJ said, well, I haven't had any problems with him. I mean, why would AJ lie?
Maybe because AJ's got a... Now, let's just take your approach to this.
Okay.
Maybe because AJ slept through an alarm the other night and doesn't want everybody cracking down on him.
Okay, I talked to him before the alarm happened.
Yes, before.
I don't know why he wouldn't. That's what I want to know. Why wouldn't he say anything? Let's bring AJ in and talk to him. Let's bring AJ and Nate in and talk to him.
We can do that. Because like I said, I've talked to Nate too.
Let's bring AJ and Nate in and talk to him. Was Nate working that day?
Yes.
Let's bring AJ and Nate in, and I'll bring the witness in that took the picture.
I mean, do you understand why I'm reluctant to
Well, now, wait a second.
about opinions outside of the fire department when my own guys won't say that it happened?
But
I mean, because
if this witness that comes in here says, well, didn't you tell me
The thing is, Dave, I still think
that he was gone for 3.5 hours? If he confronts the fireman that told him that, said, didn't you tell me that? If this guy comes in and says, I've got this picture, it shows what time it was taken, then there's a video an hour later, and then I saw a half hour later, and then the fireman tells the person that took the picture that he was gone 3.5 hours, and then he says the captain's all mad because he can't find him, doesn't know where he's at.
See,
And now here's our captain saying it didn't happen. Here's a firefighter saying it didn't happen, and nobody can remember it. We got a huge problem.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
But if there was a captain that didn't know where his man was, the problem I've got is how do you know there was something wrong with his man?
That's exactly right.
You know?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So if he was worried about where he was at, if I was worried where Mark was at, I'd pick up the radio and I said, "Hey, you okay?"
I agree.
You know?
I agree
Could
100%.
have went out there, could have been somewhere and just had a heart attack or
I agree
anything.
100%.
But
I agree.
more importantly to me here is why are people lying?
That's what I
It's
want.
not that big of a deal.
It's not that big.
You know,
It's not.
it's one of those things. If it happened, don't let it happen again.
That's all I want.
But why are people lying?
Why?
I don't understand.
I don't either.
It's
I don't either, because one of three things happened. The person drove by, took the picture, and in case he left and came back to the fire station. Then the guy came back and took a video. Then in case he went back, the guy took a video. Then Casey came back to the station. Then I went by there and saw it. Then Casey left the station and went back again. Then I saw it. And so the coincidence
Well, anything's possible.
of all that is pretty remarkable. Which is more coincidental? That the guy drove by, saw it, took a picture, came back an hour later, took a video, and then I went by a half hour later, and that Casey came back 3 times.
Well, let me ask you this now.
Or that somebody's not.
so. Do you have the picture? Can I see it?
I'll show it to you tomorrow.
Now here's the. I won't be around tomorrow.
I don't have the picture.
Now, here's the problem I got. As far as safety of firefighters and police officers, why do we have citizens following them around?
We don't.
Apparently we did.
No, we didn't.
Someone's done something.
No, somebody was going home and saw it, took a picture of it. I'm going to tell you something. Now, Ernie, do you think that let's just say I take my truck and take the city truck and go over to the diner. You think if somebody doesn't see it, they're not going to take a picture of that and say, there's Casebolt using the vehicle for personal use.
But here's the...
I won't move that truck. I wouldn't move that truck a foot. I won't move it a foot on the weekend. Because if I took that out, let's say I just took that vehicle out and went down to who knows where, then somebody...
Now here, they're watching everybody.
That's exactly right.
But here's the difference is, Dave, he's on duty, he's got a radio, and he's got a city vehicle. He's on duty. He's inside the city limits, and he can respond from anywhere where he's at any given time.
Don't have a lick problem with that.
He can.
I don't have a problem with that. I've said that to you before.
Yeah, I know you have.
I don't have a problem with that. But to be gone, and as his own investigation's showing, nobody knows it, is the problem.
See, now that's hard.
And that's what the investigation is already. That's what his little investigation is already showing. Nobody knows anything about it.
But that's hard for me to believe. There's 3 people in that station, and they don't know that truck left.
That's exactly right.
Because that exhaust fan, when it kicks on, you can hear it upstairs just the same as you can. You can hear it when you're sitting here.
That's what he just said in this thing. Nobody knows anything about it.
See, and I don't buy that.
Well, there's a picture. The vehicle definitely left.
Yeah, but well, it may be, but like I said, I can't believe that no one knew that he left. You know what I'm saying?
Then one of them would have said, "Oh yeah, he told me he was leaving." But we don't have that. Well, Casey don't even remember.
Yeah, but the thing of it is,
but you got to remember, when I did these interviews, I didn't have a date to go by to ask specific questions.
I called it to Ernie and told him.
Well, that was just Saturday.
Yeah, I called him Saturday and told him that.
Well, I talked to these people, the week prior to that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't have the date to go by, to ask the specific on this date. Do you remember him being gone? Or, I just generalized. Have you had any issues in the last month? Is how I put it.
Yeah. And you know what? To be honest with you, I told you I thought it was before the 1st of September because I didn't know what date the picture had been taken either. So I was incorrect on that. So it was the 22nd. So let's get the picture. How do you want to do? You want to interview? You want to bring AJ and Nate in?
Well, you better not. To me, you better not even. You better not. I wouldn't do it here. Too many people walk in now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, people can hear.
Yeah.
Just everywhere because there's nothing here to insulate anything.
Yeah.
Mark's more welcome to do it. I won't be able to be around because I'm going with my wife after tomorrow.
Okay.
And I won't be back. But Mark's more welcome to do
When's
that.
Nate and AJ work again?
Nate just got off this morning, so 2 days.
And they'll both be out.
And I'm not sure what day AJ comes back out.
I'm telling you, and I'm going right back to the nitty gritty of it all. 2 things. We got captains that don't remember a guy leaving. And 2, this is early on in my administration. If I allow this, and I don't at least make some noise about it, then I'm just saying it's fair game for anybody to do. And that's the thing. And I'm not a genius, and I'm not an investigator, and I don't know all this.
That's why I sent Mark to school.
But the thing about it is, it wouldn't take a genius to figure out one of 3 things. Either he left and went back 3 times, and without that truck making all that noise and nobody heard it.
And that's hard to believe.
Well, it is hard to believe.
It is. I'm telling you, it is.
So, and then to go back and 3 times is more likely that these guys, somebody's not saying what they've already said to other people.
But you do understand though that the way I look at this is if we were having to go to a courtroom, because once we get to hearing boards, attorneys get involved.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be there ripping us all a new one.
Yep.
And
even on petty stuff.
Just to say that there's a picture and a video and an eyewitness, if they're not connected together, there's holes in your story.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot prove that somebody was doing something that you're saying that they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying here.
I agree.
I don't know. He tells me he didn't do it. Okay? I want to believe him. But if the evidence went that he did, then I would all be for, don't do that. You know better.
That's all I
Yeah.
want.
But I also want to get to all this lying.
I agree with that 100% too.
What in the world would be the point for lying here?
I have no idea.
It's right.
I do have an idea.
Share it with me.
I can't. Because that's something else I hope comes out of this. I do believe I know why one person's lying. And I have a very strong suspicion as to why one person's lying.
And you don't want to help me along here?
No. We'll hopefully see if he fesses up to it.
You got tissue, do you?
And it,
You got tissues.
yeah, in the bathroom there. Yeah. That's just when those two guys come in a couple days, then we'll get the person that took the picture. And
Okay, I'll get with them, see when they can come, and see when you're available, and we'll try to get together.
if they're both working Thursday, we'll just try to do it
Okay.
Thursday.
Now, and Mark's getting ready. I'm going to have Mark to interview, even though we have written statements and stuff. And AJ told me he slept through a call. I'm still going to go through the procedures.
Absolutely.
As Mark is, if he didn't tell me anything, and get all the facts firsthand instead of, And
We definitely need. We cannot allow that to happen if we have to put an alarm in that room.
Because the thing of it is, if it's the same captain as told
or if we have to make sure everybody wakes everybody up to get out the door.
Well, and we talked about that. I told everybody, I said, if you think about it, if you don't go and wake somebody up, that's being childish.
I agree.
It is.
Okay? Yes, everybody should be man enough to, when the bell goes off, to get up and run the call.
Right.
But if somebody doesn't, go wake them up, and then we'll deal with it later.
I agree.
Don't jeopardize anybody's safety
Exactly right.
to be childish.
Matter is,
Right.
If there was a noise like that going off and I didn't wake up, you need to check me because I might be dying.
Hey,
Truthful with
you have a few minutes.
There is no way I wouldn't hear that noise.
Do you have a couple minutes, though?
Ronnie says he wouldn't hear it. Craig said he slept through one before. And so...
Do you have a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Let's go to station. We'll let you stand in that room and have them do a bell test so you can hear how loud it is.
Before we go, though, a couple questions. The chief went over the memo that you were going to put out with me, and the first sentence says that the inventory was put in my hands.
I've got that in Jeff's.
Yes.
Okay, that's incorrect.
Well, wait a second. Here's what I wrote. My understanding is that this responsibility was turned over to the executive officer because that's what you told me.
We actually had Jeff actually input into the.
Yeah, I think you turned it over to Jeff.
Jeff, now he had originally had the task of assigning the shifts to getting the inventory together on the sheets.
Yeah.
And Jeff volunteered to input it into the computers. We tried it and we wouldn't have real good success out of it.
Yeah. We had a long talk Friday.
Okay, I'm just saying that it was never delegated to me that you are going to do this.
No.
So I don't like it making it look like that I'm the bad person and didn't do what I was told.
Well, let me tell you something. I called Ronnie in, just be perfect blunt, and Ernie came in too. We had all these things, these little things that some of them just take a few minutes and they weren't getting done. And
another thing there, the copier policy.
yeah.
Okay, we're still weeks away from getting the copier, so I didn't see the need for the rush on a policy for a copier that we don't have.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I do know why.
That makes a good point. I'm being truthful with you. I didn't know you didn't have the copier yet.
yeah, we're still.
Yeah.
But Craig made a statement
in
in the fire committee meeting that he didn't want me and the union send them letters saying we're going to sue him. And when I sent that letter to Craig, it didn't trust me. It didn't come from here. It comes from straight up Charleston down here.
This and Ernie just informed me we don't have a copier policy from anywhere else.
No, they don't.
And we will have one. I'm going to make a copy of that policy and put it in my staff meeting notes, and we'll have one citywide.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing to do. Not have one, not have the others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was totally unfair in that respect.
And then,
so that will be addressed too.
and then there was the issue about paying me to come to council meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in my defense, it seems to me like the council would want someone coming to the meetings that knows the ins and outs of the fire department. You know, if I do payroll, I take care of all the purchasing. Why would you not want me there in case there was a question?
I don't want to pay overtime for it.
Well, I mean, I've been doing it for a year,
I know.
longer than that. Why all of a sudden?
That's
Well, okay, I mean, yeah, if you don't want me, I mean, that's no big deal. I got better things to
You're
do.
working that day. You're certainly.
Now, you remember we talking about the executive officer?
We was talking about the report once a month. You know, Casey gave it to her today. He did a fine job with it. I mean,
As long as we got the information to them, one thing.
Yeah.
But tell them not to have a lot of questions. You know.
yeah, there was no questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the executive officer thing you talked about the other day,
Mhm.
the executive officer, the captains are still in charge of their shift. Okay, the captain's still a captain. He's in charge of the shift. The executive officer is someone that I picked, just like Charleston does. They got administrative chief, just a different name for it.
Mhm.
Basically, what it is, when I entrust Mark into things that I can trust him to keep track of, and I know he does a good job at it, because Mark's he's almost OCD decent about a lot of things.
He has done a good job, and I'll just be
He does.
And I'll just be perfectly blunt about it again. It's not Mark, and I will say this: it's not Mark that I was blaming. I was blaming you
For which one?
for things not getting done.
I didn't.
Some of these
oh
things
no,
not
I
getting
didn't say
done.
it. But the thing of it is,
I felt that was more your responsibility.
but the thing of it is,
But I will say this: I think doing the pool and this other stuff is a lot.
Well, if you read the last sentence of your memo there, you were saying that me,
Yep.
because I'm effing up, you're going to make everybody an executive officer.
I was going to make everybody the executive
Well,
officer.
everybody on the shift, whoever's in charge of the shift is going to be an executive officer.
No, I didn't say that.
I think that's what I
I
read.
said the most senior fireman on the fire suppression side and working 24-hour shifts. There'd be one executive officer.
Per shift.
Yeah.
see that.
So that could mean anybody.
No, I didn't say per shift. I said working 24-hour shifts.
Well, the thing of it is,
What do you mean? I don't understand.
They have to be on the fire suppression side, and they have to be working 24-hour shifts to be an executive officer.
Right, so whoever's in charge for the day is.
No,
No.
that's not what I said.
But
The
think
most
it-
senior fireman.
See, that doesn't. See,
It was one person.
but see, that does.
But you were saying that because of the way things were going.
I didn't think things were getting done.
They were.
Okay, so that means that you're blaming it on me.
Yeah, I was blaming it on you.
But they
Well,
were getting done because like I said, believe it or not, I'm not computer savvy. I told you that, and we had to get it. We can get done in a 24-hour period between run calls.
I understand that,
Yeah.
Bernie, but the fact of the matter is, too, that at the end of 1 month, I asked you about the inventory. You said you'd have it in a couple of weeks.
Well, we did have it all written down. I told you that.
And
Remember?
then
'Cause-
I asked you again. You said it'd probably be another couple of weeks.
well, I didn't
And
think
you
it'd
just
take that
kept
long.
expending.
I didn't think it'd take that long to get it to the computer. I really didn't.
And
It's like Jeff said. There's already 300 some pages. I mean, it's a bunch.
well, we need it.
Yeah. But once it's
We
done,
need it. We need to keep it up to date.
and what we've even talked about, yes, Mark, with Jeff, me and Jeff.
We need to figure out a way that when we do purchase things, that the
Well, me and Jeff and Mark, we talked about possibly getting a, what's it called, Mark? The
Barcode scanner.
barcode scanner.
yeah.
And they're not very expensive. Instead of getting our tags we got now, just get them with the barcodes on.
I agree 100%.
And they're not, you might call
As a matter of fact, it tracks your inventory and everything.
Yeah, exactly right.
You can download it into your computer and it tracks your inventory.
So Jeff's supposed to get us some prices on that to see what it
I
kind of
agree.
price it runs.
I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But the executive officer thing is someone that I entrust in, that I know will get things done right, then I don't have to worry about it. Because Mark does an excellent job.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that I really want the headache? I mean, there's no extra pay for me doing all this stuff. I mean, but I can assure you, once Chief Hedrick's gone, you won't have to worry about me doing it.
Well, that
Because I won't.
there won't be an executive officer.
Won't be me.
Rocky has one else going.
Oh, you think you will?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll be truthful with you. Ronnie's the one because I called Ronnie in first. I said, Ronnie, I want to run this stuff by you because I'm not getting. There's a lot of things I've asked, and it just doesn't seem to be getting done. And he's the one that said, in fact, here, Ronnie said he doesn't agree at the 90-day lieutenant appointments. He said, I don't agree with that, but I can put up a day. He said, but take out that last thing. Don't do that. He said, just take that out. He said, I'll compromise with you. He said, take that thing out because he said it's just going to stir up a bunch.
But the thing of it is, when you put out a letter like that to everybody, it ain't really it ain't none of their business. Well, just the shift guys, it's really none of their business what was assigned and what's not got done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's between me and you and whoever we want to be between.
Yeah.
It's really not between the rookie firefighter because when that guy goes out, he goes out to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put it out. That's why I called you in and talked to you.
We got physicals.
And I appreciate you guys getting all that done. You got.
Well, we had it close. Like I told you, we had it close, and we're just at the point where we're just trying to get all the buttons buttoned up on it, you know.
And that was it. So it's done. That stuff's done. But let's get this thing behind us too. Let's just get those guys in here Thursday and refresh their memories and just and see what happens.
That'll work.
And go with it from there. And I know Mark thinks I'm trying to run the fire department, but I'm not. All I wanted was those things done, and they're done, and I want this thing done too. And if we don't come up with nothing out of that, then so be it. That'll just be the way it is.
No, I don't think you're trying to run the fire department. I think Craig's trying to run the fire department.
Yeah.
Through you.
And I think he is too. Because Dave, I mean, I'll put it this way.
Let me tell you something.
Craig's been good for us, but Craig's hurt us too.
He's been outstanding for you guys.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? We got 2 new fire trucks. You got.
Yeah. So Craig went out and purchased those fire trucks. I thought the citizens of Nitro paid for those fire trucks.
They did pay for the fire trucks, but Craig's the one that pushed it. And that's number 2. Number 3, you got 4 guys on shift now. When he started council, there was how many on shift? 2 or 3?
3.
Okay, but it takes a whole body. I mean, it's just not Craig.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But he's the one that pushed it through. Number 4, you got a Kelly person.
You know, I'm just really tired of being compared to Charleston because we're not Charleston. And the stuff that he says that happens at Charleston does not happen.
It doesn't.
Let me tell you.
You know, the chief of St. Albans came over here a while ago and was talking to me. He said he would never let his guys lock a bathroom door. He would never let them water a flower. He said that is not in our job description. And he said Charleston would never allow that either. He said he cannot believe that our fire chief is allowing us to do that.
He went down and Craig said he got called the other day to go to a Hooters car wash and provide water. So he's over at a Hooters car wash providing water.
I don't think anybody would object to that.
Well,
I mean, let's.
It's different circumstances.
They also go to every concert at the Civic Center. You know, I wouldn't object to that either. But
he said they washed the parking garages.
Nah.
They might have rookies on it.
Well, the thing is,
But the big one, Charleston does not appoint probationary firefighter. They're not even firefighters until they're off their 3 years and tested to any kind of position. Lieutenant, captain, sergeant, nothing.
that may very well be true.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I didn't call up there and check.
And Dave, and I'll be honest with you,
check.
I would never circumvent the civil service. I wouldn't do it for my game, and I wouldn't do it for the city's game.
Well,
I wouldn't.
okay, I agree with that. So, let's just get that thing behind us too. We'll sit down with those guys Thursday, and
So when do you want to bring this person that took the pictures in?
I'll bring them in at the same time. You just let me know what time you're going to bring them in, and
Okay.
I'll have them come in too.
That'll work.
And we'll do that.
Won't you remember, man? We'll let you hear that.
All right.
We'll take
I've always wanted to hear the fire alarm.
It's quiet. What you Yeah, like talking about earlier. All guys. I wouldn't spend 30 years here. It's not the first time he's ever slept through called, is it, Mark? AJ.
No.
It's just. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put up with it.
I know, but yeah, it's.
The thing about it is, if AJ gets by with it, like I said, then the next guy.
Well, what happened a lot of times, it happened on the shifts when no one ever tell you. But then it's someone complaining. You know, that's the way it always works. It kind of circumvents through the system. Then you don't know about it until it didn't happen 2-3 months ago.
Yeah. All right.
But I'll have Mark to interview AJ and the ones he's working with that night. I mean, I know he's probably going to give some kind of story medically, or that's what he said that he don't been the doctor and everything else.
Well, you know what? You got it in your policy manual that
Yeah.
if you're taking medicine or something like that, it's going to affect your duty. You're not supposed to even come in.
I agree.
So I've been on medicine like that myself, and I had a pinched nerve. I don't know if he's on that medicine.
Yeah.
And
I don't need it.
so the fact of the matter is, it's not good. Matter of fact, it's my understanding that's the second time it's happened in the last, 4 to 5 weeks. Because I guess Caleb slept through one too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the night that he quit, he slept through a call, and about 2 weeks before that, he slept through a call.
Yeah, well, Lord,
Yeah.
we got a drink.
And his problem is he's been out partying and drinking.
Yeah.
The night before.
That age.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Everyone's done it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But a lot of times they don't learn from it.
No. Even in those days, I'd still wake up to that.
Yeah, I would too.
All right, you guys.
Oh, Mayor, there was one thing, I don't know if you were aware, I know John is, in our contract, the wages are not correct. They're off by a few cents for the journeyman all the way down. So we need to change all the numbers in the contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we does that have to go through council or?
Of course, we've already passed that agreement.
Yes.
I mean, they just added, they
That
figured the
was,
numbers
Nate
wrong.
was coming in actually a little lower than what he normally made.
Yes, that's what it's. It was like 10 cents. They were off by 10 cents.
Then you need to, we need to correct it. We'll just take it to council.
Because how our apprenticeship works, Jeremy's got the top scale, and it's worked out over a 3-year period. It started out like 91.9%, and you get 93%, 95%, 7%. And when you pass your test, you get
Okay. All right.
Okay. We'll see you.
All right.
Hey, I'm on that stuff in FEMA. I wasn't